all the common threats nowadays in America, the future of America is not promised, and neither is your safety. One of the best things you can invest for your home protection is a Patriot Flashlight Kit. The Patriot Flashlight Kit contains one of the most reliable, durable, and brightest flashlights available on the market, the Night Protector. The Night Protector lights up the darkest of nights with its powerful 1200 lumens that can be seen miles away. 5 brightness modes, including very, very soft and very, very blinding. It's waterproof, so don't worry about leaving it out in the rain. Say goodbye to expensive battery purchases. This has a rechargeable lithium battery that comes with it, a Cree XML 2 LED high-powered light, and it's made of durable aircraft-grade aluminum alloy. It comes with a protective case and belt holster, a SIM change alarm, a wrist lanyard, all while remaining lightweight and durable. This flashlight is the most durable flashlight on the planet, and I wouldn't go anywhere without it. Lightweight but very durable, compact but great handling for all emergencies. Visit The secret to becoming a millionaire can be summed up in 2 words: passive income. When D.R. Barton Jr., who's now a self-made millionaire, had a 9-to-5 job, he dreaded opening his mailbox because he knew that inside he would find another credit card bill or a notice that his mortgage was due. Back then, that one paycheck his boss sent him every 2 weeks was barely enough for his family to get by. But today, he loves making that same trip to his mailbox because he knows that when he opens it up, he'll be greeted by an envelope that contains a big fat check with his name on it. And he didn't have to spend a second of his life working to collect it. Even better, when he visits his mailbox the next day, he'll find another check in it. And it'll be the same story the day after and the day after that. Uncovering little-known alternative income streams was how he became a self-made millionaire. It changed his life, and it gave him complete financial freedom. Now with the Federal Millionaire Guide, he's so excited he can help make this a reality for you as well, and he isn't going to waste a moment. Over 100 government agencies are required by law to pay rent. The checks they're cutting help create an $11.1 billion pile of money, and thanks to select private companies, it's very easy to get your piece of the action, as he'll show you how to get on the distribution list. You could begin cashing $1,795 checks a month starting next month, and those checks can grow 2 times, 5 times, or more over time. Please visit www.thefederalmillionaire.com and watch the free video to see how D.R. Burton and hundreds of thousands of other United States citizens are paying their rent with the federal rent checks. Find out how to cash $1,795 checks each month. Go to www.thefederalmillionaire.com.
Arrow to the Heart is a nonfiction book by Christopher Courtlander that tells the gripping account of how he fought off the federal government and exposed a vast conspiracy of corruption and espionage. In the spring of 2005, a federally orchestrated raid took place at the small, historic town of Gary Owen, Montana. Christopher Courtlander owns and operates Gary Owen and was the focus of the raid. He was suspected of selling valuable historical artifacts with false provenance and illegally possessing Eagle war feather bonnets and Native American artifacts. Courtlander vigorously fought this criminal allegation and eventually revealed a vast conspiracy of government corruption and espionage. He also exposed stunning connections between the Custer Battlefield Museum raid, the Gibson Guitar raid, and a raid in rural Utah, Operation Cerberus Action, that led to the suicides of multiple people. Arrow to the Heart differs from competing books in that it brings new and never-before published information exposing government corruption at the highest levels. No other book attempts to do this. Arrow is written in an entertaining narrative highlighted by stunning, never-before published photographs that help to enhance the reader's experience. Order your copy today by visiting arrowtotheheartbook.com. Arrow to the Heart: The Last Battle at the Little Bighorn, the Custer Battlefield Museum versus the federal government. arrowtotheheartbook.com. That's arrowtotheheartbook.com.
President Trump took a few days out of his busy schedule recently to visit our boys and girls in the Middle East with the First Lady. In Iraq, he spoke of his latest initiative to pull the troops from Syria, saying the job's done and, quote, "We're no longer the sucker, folks," was his parting shot to the world. That decision was made by him and him alone, facing off opposition from all sides, and that's how 45 likes to do business, shooting from the hip. There's never been another president like him, and there never will be. Donald Trump is a one-off, and so is this. It's the President Trump Freedom 2020 coin. Solid silver and minted especially by Noble Gold in the U.S., this IRA and 401k approved coin is a special and unique collector's item. It celebrates the major achievements of Donald Trump's presidency so far. On this side, it shows an eagle holding a shield aloft with a list of tasks, delivered as promised. You can now buy yours by going to www.trumpcoin2020.com and join the Trump sensation. Go to trumpcoin2020.com and don't forget to use the promo code Pete Santilli for a $6.50 savings on your order by not paying for shipping. Go to trumpcoin2020.com and don't forget to use the promo code Pete Santilli for free shipping. With all the QAnon hysteria hitting the online community and the drama surrounding President Trump and the deep state, viewers are learning that having a VPN while searching for Q's latest posts and other online-related activity is an absolute must. Virtual Shield is by far the best choice with their 30-day free trial plan, which no other VPN on the market offers. Virtual Shield does not keep logs and will never sell your data to a third party. Your browsing history is kept completely confidential so you can relax and share peace of mind that your internet browsing activities will be kept anonymous. This winter month, Virtual Shield is offering 30%.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
Where are our rights right now? They're wherever you're willing to draw a line and say, you cannot come across this line or I'll kill you. That's where your rights are. And if you don't understand that, folks, then it's beyond my capability to explain it to you. They will get away with whatever you let them get away with. And until you draw the line and you're willing to die for what you believe in, they will keep taking and taking and taking and taking until there is no more to take. It's all gone, and you're a slave.
The mainstream media are trying to take over our country that's been built by our blood, sweat, and tears over the last 240 years. It's time to keep America great by restoring what made us the greatest country on earth, the U.S. Constitution. Broadcasting live from high atop Mount Washington in Cincinnati, Ohio, FEMA Region 5. I'm your host, Pete Santilli.
Welcome to the Pete Santilli Show. The commentary and incitement you're about to hear is based on opinion, truth, and fact, and is meant to be used as an educational tool to fight the New World Order, the global elite, and the eugenics agenda. The Pete Santilli Show will never be censored by any corporation, and Mr. Santilli is certainly not beholden to the opinion of any of his sponsors. The opinions of his guests may not necessarily reflect the opinion of Mr. Santilli. Further, Mr. Santilli would like to urge his listeners to remain calm throughout the collapse, obey the Constitution, act lawfully, responsibly, and at their own risk of being brutalized by tyranny when taking any action after listening to the Pete Santilli Show. Also be advised, this program may contain adult content and parental discretion is strongly advised. It's time to throw away your chips and your Diet Cokes, so cling to your Bibles, grab your guns and your bug-out bags, and get ready for the Pete Santilli Show. Pete Santilli telling you the truth, whether you like it or not.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready?
Ready.
You are?
I think. Yes.
On this Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday. I looked up here.
It's
hold
Thursday.
on a second. I got to turn that down. I had the speakers up. That's okay. I got a $65 camera. I got this ashtray and my OptiGrabs.
Your OptiGrabs.
OptiGrabs.
I remember that movie.
Remember that? And this lamp. That's all I need is a $65 camera, right? These speakers.
Yeah.
And this lamp.
Yeah.
And my dog shithead. Remember?
I remember. That was such a great movie.
Yeah, that was
I
a great
so
movie.
Hard. I did.
Yeah, so that's all I need. And all I need is you. All I need is a miracle.
All I need is you.
All I need is you.
Yeah,
so it's Thursday, January 31st. That's it. January's gone. 2019. Say goodbye. You ready? Mm-hmm. Just say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. And hello to you, my lovely co-host, Deb Jordan, riding shotgun with me each and every day.
Hi. Hi,
Yes.
everybody. Good evening. I mean, good afternoon. Not evening yet.
We have, we had such an intense morning show. Was that not intense? I almost had a migraine coming off of that.
Oh, it was terrible.
That show this morning. If you guys didn't catch that show this morning, it was intense. You'll be able to catch it because we're gonna actually have it reposted. I'm actually making a video. It's a pretty impactful video.
Mm-hmm.
I have all of the clips to piece everything together. I was watching, and I had never seen it, by the way, the celebration in the New York Senate after they...
You had never seen that?
I had never seen it.
Oh, boy.
Cuomo. So on top of
well,
the
intensity...
intensity...
Well, take a big meaning on, too.
Yeah, you were screaming this morning, you know.
I wasn't screaming.
I was going to get in the chat room and say, you know what, I'm out of here. You're screaming. By the way, when people jump into the threads, I need you to know this is like an old... You got these like stale, old...
Uh-huh.
They're 80s tricks.
Right.
Almost. There was no internet in the 80s. When it first came about, I literally read the manual that GCHQ published.
Uh-huh.
And it's literally textbook. They get in there and they talk to everybody in the chat room. And the way they talk to them is they say, I don't like this. You are shouting, I'm going to leave. And you stole $500,000 from the truckers. You know, don't donate. I mean, it's like the oldest, stalest trick in the book is to discourage people, you know, from watching. They create this, it's called false consensus, right? They create this false consensus. They have multiple accounts. They jump in there. They get their gang of people and they say, I don't like this guy. We are all going to leave and you don't have any more views. That's after they freaking shut us down on millions and millions of, you know, having millions of fans on Facebook, hundreds of thousands of freaking followers, millions of freaking listeners. They cut us off and then they say, you don't have any views anymore. Gee, I wonder why, you frickin' communist.
Thanks to you.
You shot all of our listeners, right? And then come in and say, you're not popular. You only have 10 shares. Oh, well, you're counting shares. I'm beating your ass. How about that? Count this.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well, we know for a fact that when the government takes an interest in you, especially department... Not the government. I can't say the government. The shadow government. When the deep state. No, when
we're in the jumbo jet, it's of, by, and for our people, right? Sophisticated electronics, weaponry, right? All of that. It's a big jumbo jet. It's like Air Force One. It's beautiful, right? Painted, shiny, everything. And you have these people that are the equivalent of freaking Saudi terrorists in the cockpit.
No kidding.
That's who we yell at every single day. We're not yelling at the government, okay? We're not yelling at the government. I'm not anti-government. I never have been. But they want to paint me as anti-government.
Yeah.
You know?
So we know.
Anyways,
we know from experience, okay? I mean, we've been targeted. You, in particular, have been targeted. Me to a lesser degree, but still it was impactful in my life.
Why is that?
Well, because you have a mouth and a platform and
the truth.
And the truth. To speak that.
The platform and the listenership comes because I will tell the truth. Nobody will stop me. You will not shut me up. You will not silence me. And everybody's like, wow, okay, I can hide behind my computer here and not have to worry about, right? I will gladly take slings and arrows, as President Trump says. Yeah. I will gladly take the slings and arrows. I loved what he said when he said that.
Yeah.
Because that's always been my attitude is I will gladly say what we need to say. And you guys just gather around. Let's go. Stand with me, of course. But
he'll carry that cross, right?
Yeah. I will.
Somebody has to.
Somebody needs to say something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm sorry to get off on a tangent.
That's okay.
This has been going on for years. Back in 2005, 6, 7, right? I'm building my business. I'm Joe Suit and Tie. Ultra conservative. Like button down, never drop the F-bomb in public or in public speaking or anything like that. I was super Joe corporate, right? While at the same time, I still spoke like Pete Santilli, just the brash type.
Sure.
That always called out the people that were doing wrong. Always. I was always on the side of the people. I always took the side of the people. And I was always told, you should run for office. And I've literally on the floor of the Hesperia City Council said I've been encouraged to run for office. But I'm going to hereby declare that I'd much rather be on this side of the podium with we the people holding you corrupt bastards accountable.
Yeah.
I will not run for office because who's going to be on this side of the podium holding you accountable? You people are corrupt. Okay. You're destroying our city. And I'm going to come here every single, right? And by the way, if you can't,
you're going to see my face.
And I said, and if you can't make it, ladies and gentlemen of Hesperia, we had 100,000 people, right? Mm-hmm. Tune into the live feed. I'll come show up. Tune into the Pizza Antilli show. No, I didn't say Pizza. We didn't have the Pizza Antilli show at that time. Mm-hmm. But everyone, they're busy people. I'll come here. You know, I'll get my list of stuff that they want. And I'm going to show up here and I'm going to hold you people accountable. You're destroying our community. You know, as the housing market started to take a dump, these people are taking money on the side. So my point is, I want to stay on this side of the podium.
Sure.
I'm not going to run for office. Okay. Mm-hmm. We're going to hold these people accountable. Right?
Yes.
They just need to do the right thing. That's it. I don't lie. I have the highest integrity of any other felon I've ever met.
A high integrity felon.
Can you imagine? Huh?
A high integrity
That's the dumbest friggin' thing I've ever heard of. That's a separate story. But anyways, but they just don't like that. They can't have that. They can't have like a true teller that will not relent. Let's throw him in jail. That won't work. But let's shoot him. That's not going to work either. Okay?
Let's threaten him.
Let's threaten.
That definitely makes it worse.
That comes like hourly. Okay? Yeah. That comes hourly. I will not relent. I will not give in. And all you need to worry about is whether or not you're doing the right or wrong thing, right? Mm-hmm. Robert Mueller, which you're not. You ready? Somebody said, what is it? What's the guy's name? He said, what kind of title is that? I'm gonna predict it. You ready? 24-hour alert here. All right. We are on the verge right now of this coup d'etat is about to be kicked off, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should explain to that person that that's coup, not coup.
Huh?
Well, the person saying what kind of title is that? I'm just explaining that that's not coup. They may not be able to.
We've actually changed the spelling of our dog. His Cooper is spelled C-O-U-P. Coop.
That's coup. So 24-hour coup alert.
Well, did I misspell
you understand it a little bit better now.
Did I misspell it?
No, I think that they.
Coop.
I think that they.
24-hour Coop alert.
I think
did you send out me notifications, by the way?
Yes.
You did? 24-hour coup loop or coup alert. Coup loop. This is not funny. This is very serious.
Oh, I think it's funny.
Huh?
Yeah.
This is very serious.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Watch this. You ready? Here it is right here. Is the investigation coming to an end? Right? Is the investigation coming to an end? President Trump told the Daily Caller in an executive exclusive interview that he has not spoken to U.S. Attorney General Matthew Whitaker regarding special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation just days after Whitaker said he believes it is close to being completed. Now, here is what I'm hearing, okay?
Okay.
That Rod Rosenstein, okay, has been, because President Trump has been the target. How did they make him a target? Okay, let's remember this. You ready? Okay. All of the intel services have fabricated this thing behind the scenes about his Russia collusion.
Yes.
All right? They have been advancing towards, in this coup d'etat, to create this collusion between President Trump and Vladimir Putin.
Correct.
They actually came out recently and said that President Trump is a target. Okay? Now, guess what?
Correct.
Because he's a target, guess what?
What?
They don't have to advise him of anything. They don't have to tell him anything. They can lie to him. They can do whatever. He's not even acting as the president in his relationship with them. Whitaker could have been told, you're not to say a freaking word. If you do, you're compromising national security. You'll be arrested too. Okay? It's this serious. This coup d'etat right now, we are this close right now. Now, President Trump doesn't know. They look at how they treat him. He can't. They overturn everything. They treat him like freaking crap because he's the target of the investigation. What they could do here within the next 24 hours, and I'm anticipating within the next 24 hours, they're signaling right now that this thing's about to come to an end. And Whitaker, did you see Whitaker at the podium?
No.
Sweating profusely.
Was he?
Oh, my goodness. The guy was nervous as a freaking wreck. Okay?
Good for him. I don't like him.
You don't like him?
No. Why would I? He just okayed for them to open the Bundy, to try to get the Bundys appealed.
Oh, yes. Crazy.
Yeah. I don't like him.
Yeah, without any investigation.
Correct.
Robert Mueller was named special counsel for the investigation into Russian interference during the 2016 presidential election on May 17, 2017. Since then, he has indicted 37 entities, including 34 people and 3 companies that we are aware of. The most recent indictment coming less than a week ago with Roger Stone's early morning arrest by 29 FBI agents. Here's another thing. A judge has refused to release the Julian Assange sealed indictment information.
That's important.
We could conceivably see, all right? Oh, geez, a lot of things could happen here, all right? And I don't mean to scare the crap out of everybody, but watch out, because listen, I've studied this stuff for decades. And I'm also just starting to, I'm coming out in the open right now. Within the next 24 hours, some major things may take place. But between now and then, I need to ask you to support us in the following way. Here's my message to you. You ready? Look at in my coat pocket. Have you ever seen me walking around here without a pocket Constitution?
Oh, no. It's always within reach.
Within reach. And we have a box of them over in the other corner. My pocket Constitution does not leave my pocket. Okay. Sure. I always have it with me. And that's the truth. And it has been for a long, long time. Okay.
Forever and ever.
Because it's only as powerful, all right, especially for those that are going to get rounded up like a bunch of cattle, right? Mm-hmm. It's only as powerful as those who are willing to know it, right? To read it, know it, in order for us to defend and support it. So you supporting us is literally supporting the First Amendment. If you like what we do, if you make a contribution of $17.76, $20.20, right? I mean, that's I say a reasonable. I mean, could you imagine if everyone contributed that? We would never, ever have to worry about anything as far as equipment. Right now, we're desperately in need of equipment. We need your support. You make that contribution, make sure we have your address. You can even forward us, like Stephen Hayden. Guess what he did?
What did he do?
He said, I'm dropping you a check. Okay? And he actually had a request to send constitutions to people.
Yes.
He did. And we'll make that announcement when those people receive those. I don't want to give away the secret. But Stephen Hayden is actually, right? He's supporting us, right? And you get an autographed copy of Pocket Constitution, a note. I sent it to you. Some of you, everybody should have received theirs. I hope you did. Hang on to this thing.
I hope they did.
Live it,
too.
learn it, love it, okay? We're not only going to support the show, support the First Amendment through supporting the show, right? Mm-hmm. It's really important that we, the people, come together to support this thing. We have small sponsors, too. And to support the small sponsors, right, small businesses, this is how we kind of bring them up, right? This is the way it should work. Rather than us be beholden to the pharmaceutical companies that dictate what people can and can't say in the mainstream media, right? It's the other way around. We have the small businesses like the Patriot Flashlight, right? Mm-hmm. Small business. We sell flashlights to patriots.
We do.
And they're like, hey, we want to sell flashlights. We want to sell them to your people, right? And we want to support you. And they give us a small little trinket to run it. We run the ad. We want to support them. And as they grow, then their contribution continues to grow with us. That's the way it works. So please support us. All right. Now back here to the Daily Caller. Excuse me. Roger Stone. He's going to be in court tomorrow. Okay.
He is.
It's status conference. Mm-hmm. We got a hearing coming up. Fridays, it seems like that's their best time to do SWAT tamings. Seems like it, right?
Usually.
I'm going to be a nervous wreck first thing in the morning because the early morning raid is coming, I believe. Right now, we're on the precipice of this. They're not stopping at Roger Stone, okay? We have a Julian Assange sealed indictment right now. And there may be a bunch of surprises. They haven't really leaked all that much out of the Mueller indictment. They have not tipped President Trump off because he's a target and a subject. We've already got an indication that Donald Trump Jr. May be indicted. All right. If they go after Donald Trump Jr., boom, 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 we're going to see a succession and a very swift move towards not just impeachment, but a flat out removal of President Trump. Okay.
Okay. So explain to us exactly why and would be, and what would be their reasoning to go after Donald Trump Jr. I mean, is it finally going to be the
He gave
connection?
some inconsistent statements, and it has to do with the Trump Tower, and it's also in the indictments as to how significant the Trump Tower in Moscow was.
Okay.
And those connections. They know the answers to all these questions.
Is that finally how they are going to link the president to Russian collusion through his son?
I believe right now what they're going to do, and nobody's talking about this. They don't understand superseding indictments. I do. Okay? I understand it.
Right.
When you have stuff that's under seal, they keep everything secret. They can't even add certain information to an indictment because it'll tip off the next succession of people that get arrested. They've only been able to put in the indictments only enough information to be able to bring the indictment through the grand jury and then keep the other ones sealed. Okay. They've been in the grand jury. Okay. They have, if they're going to be arresting anybody, they have it right now. They're about to execute arrest warrants. Okay. A superseding indictment means that, let's say Roger Stone has charges and they're related to what we already know is, the Jerome Corsi thing, right? That whole gobbledygook thing.
It seems to be snowballing that way, yes.
It's daisy chaining, okay?
Yes.
Right now they're daisy chaining. They can only daisy chain what they've been able to connect and put out in the public to get the indictments, but they're circling President Trump right now. And then the final stage is to take the inner circle, the inner ring. Roger Stone, Jerome Corsi, and all those people, and Manafort, they're on the outer rings. Right now, boom, they're going to move into the inner ring. Once they do that, then it's the nuclear center is President Trump. Things are going to happen very quickly like that. They go after Donald Trump Jr. We don't know who they could all of a sudden they could indict President Trump. Did you know that?
I know.
They could.
But it's not. They keep saying that's not likely. They
say it's not likely. Hold on a second. Now back up a second. It's not likely. Those are legal mumbo jumbo bullcrap words. When you look at the corruption that exists within our intel services, okay? Now, President Trump, here's my final comment. You ready? All the intel services right now are saying that Iran is not a problem. Did you hear that?
Yes.
What does that tell you? Those are all deep staters right there. And they're protecting, you got the EU working to circumvent the sanctions that are against Iran. Did you know that? That's happening right now. Okay. All the intel services are doing it, and President Trump is speaking out against it. They have betrayed President Trump by not giving him the access to the information through the intel services. He's literally tweeting back at the intel services. Have you seen his tweets?
No.
About it? Okay, let's review it.
Please
because
do.
You guys need to know where my prediction is coming from. It's not just I'm going to go on a hunch. Okay, I'm taking a look at signaling here, and what he understands and what he doesn't understand. Oh, wait, there's a message from him. We'll get to that here. But looking for China, more troops, Democrats coming. Oh my goodness, he's gone off the deep end. I've seen a lot of stuff here. All on walls, section walls. Talk about presidential campaign doing it in the House, large protests. Unbelievable. Okay, here it is. This is actually yesterday. Look at how things fly here. The intelligence people seem to be extremely passive and naive when it comes to the dangers of Iran. They are wrong. When I became president, Iran was making trouble all over the Middle East and beyond. Since ending the terrible Iran nuclear deal, they are much different. But, right, and he continues on. But a source of potential danger and conflict. They are testing rockets last week and more and are coming very close to the edge. Okay? Mm-hmm. He's speaking very coded here. I'm telling you this right now. He's putting out tweets to the intel service. There's a war going on. The intel services are split in half. There's an intel services that existed under the Hillary Clinton Obama regime. Mm-hmm. There was a war there. They actually launched a pre-coup d'etat, an insurance policy, right? Set the entire stage. The DNC hack, all of that stuff. You know, all that hacking and stuff like that? Mm-hmm. All of that, the CrowdStrike that came in and analyzed this DNC, they're a private company.
Yes.
You know who they are? They're a paid freaking intel services company. Okay? Do you understand?
Wow.
Hillary Clinton could have paid, they could have set the stage to say, oh, it was a Russian hack. Yeah, how do you know that? It is. Don't worry about it. Just trust us. We're good intel people. We work for Hillary Clinton. Huh? Right? Let me tell you something. Fire Marshal Bill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember Fire Marshal Bill?
Talking out of both sides of your mouth.
Let me tell you something. Huh?
Yeah.
Anyways, CrowdStrike has established forensically that it was a Russian hack. Julian Assange says, no, it wasn't. We did not get the DNC emails from the Russians. There's a conflict there, right?
Right.
Kim.com says it wasn't a Russian hack. They both said that they wanted to testify. Mueller said, no, we don't need your testimony.
Yeah.
Right?
That ain't going to happen.
They have forensic evidence as to where they got the information. Mm-hmm. They know who the source is.
Sure.
Seth Rich, we're not supposed to say his name, right?
Right.
Seth Rich. They have a forensic analysis from CrowdStrike. The intel services set the entire stage for this Russia collusion thing. They could have set up, just think, if they could do all of that crap, imagine what they could do to build a case to have President Trump literally pulled out of the seat, indicted, and thrown in handcuffs. Imagine that. Mm-hmm. Huh? This right now, we're this close. Okay. Once they make a move, they unseal an indictment on Julian Assange, right? He's no longer a witness, right? Kind of like me, like Attorney General Whitaker. He's not going to talk to me because I'm a defendant. You know, all the defendants are the best freaking whistleblowers as to the corruption in the case. But being a defendant, you have less credibility, of course. Right? That's the desired effect on Julian Assange. Kim.com, he's not credible. He's a felon. Right? Isn't he? They SWAT teamed him. No credibility whatsoever. They set the entire stage for this thing. And we're going to go to TFR and come back, and I'm going to kind of piece this thing together. I'm sharing. And when this thing lays out, and if it actually comes true and they do a SWAT team tomorrow, I'm actually going to be shocked too. But I don't know. I'm going on a hunch.
For years, Americans have been encouraged to prepare their families for the eventuality of natural disaster, civil unrest, and a possible breakdown of our nation's supply chain. Just look what happens in other countries when food trucks stop rolling and the banking system stops functioning. The day has now arrived. No more waiting to stock up on emergency food supplies because the survival of your family depends on how you respond to this warning. It could be the last time I'm able to speak these words to you about the critical need to prepare your family. The lights could go out, the internet could be shut down, and the bank ATMs could stop functioning. But just ask yourself this. If this happens right now, today, would I be able to feed my family for the next few days? If the answer is no, then you need to act right now by visiting preparewithpete.com and look at the supplies you'll need to have on hand for your families to survive without these conveniences we take for granted. It's time to stop putting off buying an emergency food supply. I'm telling you this now while I can. Because if the electricity goes out and the shelves are empty, you'll be glad I did. I'm Pete Santilli, and I want you to visit preparewithpete.com because it's time to be self-reliant, independent, and prepared to feed your family because emergencies strike when you least expect it.
From sweet and spicy to fiery, bold, and full of flavor, Brother Doc's is not your typical beef jerky. Never dry and brittle. This jerky comes beautifully packaged with large cuts of meat that are moist, tender, and chewy from beginning to end. Brother Doc's recipes contain the highest quality ingredients that result in innovative flavor masterpieces, like orange teriyaki, barbecue mesquite, and their signature bold pepper flavors properly named Volcano and Burnout. Moderate pricing and great flavor will have you in beef jerky heaven. Go to sbn.buzz/brotherdocs to place your order so Doc knows you heard about him here on the Pete Santilli Show. It's true what they say about Brother Doc's beef jerky. One bite and you'll be a believer too.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iAlife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iAlife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil, but the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iAlife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to ialife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's ialife.com.
Okay. Deb just informed me because if you guys don't know who CrowdStrike is, you need to know their site. Okay, CrowdStrike, cloud delivered protection. Okay, cloud delivered protection. Here, let me put them up on the screen here. CrowdStrike is kind of like a cyber warfare intel agency. It's staffed by former CIA and FBI people, okay? And here they are right here. All right, CrowdStrike was hired to come in by the DNC and certify that their servers were hacked by the Russians. They forensically certified it. But couldn't find, the 33,000 emails, so on and so forth. Anyways, a lot of stuff going on here behind the scenes. A lot of complexities here. But CrowdStrike is who established that it was a Russian hack of the DNC servers. And so, henceforth, this Russia collusion thing with the Trump administration. The entire scenario, since 2015, it got started. They started on this thing in 2015, right about the time when I started mentioning President Trump's candidacy. They wanted to set up an insurance policy. Look at all the corruption that was involved within the FBI. Right now, there's so much stuff happening behind the scenes. I think that they're going to make their move. Now, check this out. Let's say, for instance, Robert Mueller comes out and we think that he's going to issue a report, and it's going to be a political report, right? That's what we expect. Is that what everyone's fully expecting? It will be shock and awe right now. They could conceivably, if they're going to launch a coup d'etat, imagine this. If they arrested, I have no idea if they could even do this, but just throw this out there. Ivanka Trump, Donald Trump Jr., right? And they issue an arrest warrant for President Trump. And they say that he was the target of this Russia collusion thing. They have all the evidence, the transcripting. They also have testimony from General Flynn or whatever. I mean, just some weird crap like this. And it comes down within the next 24 hours. Next thing you know, President Trump, the commander-in-chief, he's in this position. We have a constitutional crisis at that point, do we not?
Absolutely.
And the entire country is back on its heels. We're literally this close to this scenario happening right now. We have not seen the sealed indictments against Julian Assange. You know that Julian Assange is a target of this thing. They keep mentioning WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks was in possession of stolen emails. I mean, that is a fact.
Oh, absolutely.
Their entire database is stolen. Right?
Yeah.
It's stolen, and it's given to them, and they publish it, and then everyone republishes it.
But guess what? The minute CNN got a hold of them and started publishing them, they were They were
This is what I'm
also-
talking about. Look at
They also had stolen
look at the
emails.
inconsistencies here, or the hypocrisy. CNN is allowed to meet with Julian Assange, but they're never a target of Russia collusion investigation, right?
Right.
You'll note that. All right, so Donald Trump Jr.'s potential, we've already heard about that's as close as they've been able to get to the president. They've already said that he has committed perjury under oath. They've already identified that. Okay. CrowdStrike has certified that the DNC emails came from a Russian hack. They've forensically certified that. Okay. John Brennan was in Moscow, right, for the Fusion GPS thing. That whole thing rolled downhill. We've already talked about all this. And now they're saying that that the Russia collusion investigation is about to come to a close. Tomorrow, I think within the next 24 hours, because this thing is going to come into February. I don't think they're going to, they're saying, oh, don't expect, here's, I'm going against the grain here. They said, don't expect that Robert Mueller's investigation is going to be, fireworks. It's going to be a political hit piece, right? We've been hearing a lot of that. That's the word that's been put out there in the mainstream media. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, no, they're going to do something nasty here, right? Look at the legislation they're passing on the floor of the House. Are they crazy? You see what they're passing right now? Trying to abolish the Electoral College. They're running left and right in states to, to authorize, not authorize, to legalize late-term abortions. I mean, they're going full-blown Marxism right now, confidently. Nancy Pelosi is so confident. They pushed out and opened up the government until February 15th, right? Notice that? 2 weeks in. What's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks? Right? You see where I'm going?
I do.
A lot of signs right now pointing to this. A lot of signs pointing to this. So I wanted to mention CrowdStrike. Now, also at the same time, because we have a first-time caller on the line. Our telephone number to call in on our TFR lines, our Truth Frequency radio lines, are 213-233-3998 or toll-free at 833-TFR-LIVE. And in the UK, you know what? I want to hear from somebody in the UK. 44203-393-2871. I know you guys listen. We actually get people in the chat room that say, hey, good day from the, right? What's up, mate? From either Australia or the UK. I know we've got people all over the world joining us. Let's go to first-time caller right now on the telephone line. What's going on?
Hey Pete, this is Glenn from Lancaster, right down the road.
Hey, Glenn from Lancaster. What's going on up in the high desert there in Southern California? Still gun country up there, or are they taking away your guns out there in Lancaster?
Are you in Lancaster, Ohio?
They're trying to take away the Constitution. We're seeing it rolling out live.
Are you in Lancaster, Ohio, or Lancaster, California?
Lancaster, California.
There you go, California. Yeah. California.
The Democrats that Brown and them are been trying to take our guns for years, but guess what? We have the Constitution.
You really don't. Not in California.
Well, I know they're after it.
They are.
They're after it real bad, but guess what?
They got it, dude. I'm telling you.
There's a lot of people that still believe in the Constitution.
That's right.
And I'm sure I'm one of them.
All it takes is 3% of us.
Dad, that's right.
Right?
And they keep flooding our country to try to take away that too, but it's not going to happen.
I certainly hope.
Those Pakistani IT guys, the whole Democrat Party?
Yeah, the Alwan brothers, right? The Alwan brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about them?
Pakistanis, right?
Listen. Yeah, exactly. And by the way, did you hear my analysis here? I've mentioned a lot of stuff here. There's been a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, you did.
Picture the Podestas, okay? Picture the Manafort stuff that's going on in his relationship with the Ukraine. Picture John Brennan going to Moscow prior to the Fusion GPS report. Picture all of this stuff happening. Right now, what's happening is a war between the white hats and the black hats within the intel services right now. and the military is getting ready to freaking come in. Okay, the military will respond if Mueller does something stupid and like tries to indict the president. Okay, dude, it's going to be very traumatic for our country to watch. Okay,
it sure is. You know, if he has to, Trump can call us American citizens, the militia, and we'll take care of the cocksuckers.
Oh.
Well,
yeah, ladies, I'm sorry about that. We have ladies out there, and we have children that are listening too.
Sometimes
we have teenagers.
But you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. Just be cautious.
Sorry, I'm just a little frustrated.
No, I know. I understand that.
For years, I watched the corrupt Iran deal.
Mm-hmm.
I watched Valerie Jarrett was really the first woman president because she was running Obama like a puppet.
No kidding.
Yeah,
and
big time.
She was working with Iran behind the scenes.
Yeah, and Hillary Clinton, the intel services, the State Department. Dude, we have black hats and white hats in the CIA, and right now they're at war.
That's right.
They're at war.
With all the corruption, it's unbelievable. It's been rolling out right in front of our eyes.
Yeah.
They're trying to blame Assange for having the information, which he does have, but the guy that Seth Rich that got murdered, they knew they were going to lose the election, and they knew Trump at that point was going to win because of the information. So ever since before they killed Seth Rich, they've been going after Donald Trump.
2000, dude, they started in 2015. 2015, dating all the way back. I wish I could pull it up. I tracked this all the way back to 2015. They started digging into Trump before.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it was December of 2015 that the FBI started going after President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been a long time coming. Now look at this. A judge has refused to unseal criminal charges against Assange. They exist right now. The judge is refusing to unseal it. Why would they refuse to do that? Federal judge on Wednesday rejected a request to unseal the criminal charges against WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange that were mistakenly revealed in another case. A U.S. District Judge, Leone Brinkema, said in a 10-page ruling that the Free Press advocates seeking to unseal the charges have no proof that Assange has actually been charged. Okay? So we were tipped off a little bit by accident. We know that there's sealed indictments that have never really been spoken of. Now, mentions of WikiLeaks, right, in all of these indictments. No Russia collusion. Now, here's what's going to happen, is that once they bring Donald Trump Jr. and like all of their top people, including possibly President Trump, okay, once they do that, then you're going to see superseding indictments.
Mm.
Then they're going to reissue indictments.
I'd like to see the special visa that Loretta Lynch handed out to this Russian spy. You know, more flexible after the election, right out of Barack Obama's mouth. That I'll tell Vladimir I'll be more flexible after the election.
That's right.
Yeah.
That man was so corrupt.
Yeah.
And he had control of everything, and how these judges that he has control of.
Yeah.
Even, you know, if you keep the American people in the dark, you don't tell them the truth. You don't abide by the Constitution. You just strong arm a La Raza strong arm lawyer that's a criminal in the first place, working for non-citizens of America, saying an oath to the Constitution that he never believed in for one thing.
No. He's actually his job was to destroy the Constitution, destroy our constitutional republic.
That's right.
Yeah, this is
what
why
he's been after the whole time. Same with Hillary.
Yeah, which is why
so they could do whatever they wanted, spend billions and trillions of dollars of hardworking taxpayers' money, not on American people, on whatever the heck they want to do. $10 trillion easy they spent, and what do we got to show for it? We had shovel-ready jobs. Every road in America needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Every hospital, every school.
Now, see, you know what we're talking about right now? We're talking about all this stuff, and you said you're frustrated. Everybody's really, really frustrated. And just think, we're frustrated with the stuff that we know about. Can you imagine the stuff that we don't know about as to what's going on in this war between the white hats and the black hats and the intel services? You got the president of the United States berating the freaking intel services, who are on the floor of the of freaking Congress testifying, saying that Iran is not a danger. Can you imagine? Who are those people? Who do you think they're working for? Huh? President Trump says they need to go back to
smoking.
He said, be careful of Iran. Perhaps intelligence needs to go back to school, he says. Telling that to his intel agencies.
That is these people think the American people are stupid because they keep saying the one thing over and over and over again and not even to let the American people's voice be heard.
Yeah.
You know what? The American people's voice are going to be heard one way or another, especially if they try this crap. Mm-hmm. Mueller's so dirty with everything he's touched through the years, just like Bush and all of them. After they killed Kennedy, you know, they've had control for a long time, and we need to get rid of this poison out of the United States, free our people. It is amazing what they've done.
Listen, do me a favor, okay? Thank you very much for calling in, okay? I need to take a moment out here. A message from our sponsors, okay? Bless
you, brother.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And the telephone lines are open. I'm going to take the next caller here after I mention this, just very quickly, okay? Beginning tomorrow into February. Everybody get ready to go. You guys did a great job in January. Thank you so much for putting us where we are. It's a start. It's a beginning, okay?
Yes.
Continue to support us financially. And then guess what? We pick products like the Patriot flashlight, for instance. ThePatriotKit.com. Enter promo code P20, right? Here's another thing right here. Trump silver coin, right? President Trump's silver coin. On the back of the coin is an eagle that lists his accomplishments. This is a great collector's item. All right, you can go to TrumpCoin2020.com. Enter promo code Pete Santilli for free shipping. Okay, it's a $6.50 savings on your order by not paying for the shipping. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com and don't forget to use that code Pete Santilli for free shipping. All right, now we're going to go back to the line. When you guys buy those coins, you are not going. You purchase a Trump Coin 2020. Everybody, get ready. For those of us, we only need 3% of us to back the president of the United States. Us Red Vest Brigade members, right? We got Raynetta. She's like the general, right?
Yeah.
Raynetta's the general of the Red Vest Brigade.
Is today her surgery? No, that's tomorrow.
It's going to be tomorrow. Hopefully, Raynetta is hearing our voice.
So we'll keep Raynetta in our prayers today.
We get to hear from her. Yes, we keep her in our prayers.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go to, is it Auburn, New York? Auburn, New York, home of the baby killers. What's going on? How are you? Huh?
Hey, Pete. Hey, Pete. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. This is Toe Jam.
Hey, Toe Jam.
What's going on? You know what I want you? You know what I want you to do? I want you to marry Camel Toe and invite me over for a barbecue. What? What?
You had to come up with some kind of crazy handles. Yes, I'm in upstate New York. It's totally different from.
In upstate, I'm from Albany.
No, Auburn, New York. I'm 30 minutes south of Syracuse.
I'm from Albany.
Boonies, where. Oh, you're from Albany.
Yeah,
originally. I'm like 3.5 hours west of you.
Yep, that's right. I'm very familiar.
Yeah, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, but I moved up here for college things. But the abortion thing, I spoke about it. I don't want to get involved with that, but I guess in 1989, when we had health class in school, in middle school, we had health class. I don't know if they have it now. But they had a video of a second term abortion, where they it was really, really disturbing, where they injected there was a saline solution that they dyed blue so you can actually see it in the uterus.
Yes.
And once that blue blur slowly came to the child, as soon as it touched the child, the baby like floated away. I knew it was in pain. And I looked around the class, and I remember this verbatim. I'm like, "What is this?" I was probably about 17 at that time, and I never forgot about that. So, to the people who read about abortion or whatever, look at a video, and I can imagine third-time abortions and stuff like that. It's disgusting, and and this is how the left is going to counteract. They'll go far left and make radical changes as necessary just to combat the right, because
I think
we are more logical.
I think they're trying to do everything possible. I think they're trying to do everything possible to trigger us to where we have no other alternative than to respond to it. I mean, they're like, "Hey, we're going to kill babies. What are you guys going to do about it? Huh? What do you think? What are we going to do? Just sit there and let it happen?"
They'll get a lot of news coverage. Look at the third-time abortions, blah, blah. The guy from Virginia and that lady on Carlson last night was disgusting. Klein, her name was, and he just put her in her place, and to the point where she was like shaking in her seat because like she's so angry at Trump that she had no logical explanation to any of his questions. It was just like, men can't control our bodies, those kind of answers.
Whoa.
But she wasn't looking into the actual,
Well, let me ask you a serious question. This isn't an attack on you, but you have to wonder. You're like right in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. What are New Yorkers like? You know how many Roman Catholics I personally know in upstate New York? I personally know Roman Catholics. I know priests that'll go punch somebody to try to kill a baby, like in the video. With the late-term abortion, a priest that will perpetrate violence on people for killing babies late-term like that. Where are those people? Where are they?
Oh, absolutely. This town it's a very old school town. It's a small town.
Oh, yeah.
With old school values. Everybody knows each other. Everybody has guns. Everybody goes hunting out back.
Yeah.
But it's almost like they're 5 to 8 years behind the times. It's like a very underdeveloped upstate New York. And where they at? Like I said, I've been living up here for like 10 years, but you can see the difference between here and an actual city. This is a very slow, laid back, woodsy town.
Yeah, that's pretty much all of upstate New York. You got New York City, then you got the just outside. They call it upstate, but that's where all the rich people are. Just above New York City. Then you go to Albany, which are the legislators. And then you got some kick-ass steak and potatoes people in Syracuse, Buffalo, Rochester, right? Well, Rochester's gone.
Skinny Atlas.
Yeah.
all that right there.
Yeah. But all right. So what prompted your call to begin with?
Okay. What prompted my call was when you started the show, I was like, wow, you had an idea of what possibly could happen with this possible indictment with Trump Jr.
Yes.
And I only can learn. I only listen to what is available to me with no speculation. I like documents. I like facts. Like you, Bongino, Solomon, Sarah Carter, Epoch Times, the Daily Caller. They're all factual news sources, in which I went to that area because I was so lost in CNN and mainstream media like years ago. But now it's like, wow, we need facts.
Yes.
So we all can have like speculation on what possibly would happen. Now this Kim.com and Assange and how Mueller doesn't want to check them out.
Yes.
It all brings speculations in my mind. So looking at what I see right now is, after the past 8 years, Obama had his roots into DOJ and FBI. So when Trump came in last year, he's trying to deroot, AKA fumigate the deep state. And that is the battle right now that we don't see. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh,
because
Yes.
Obama's people are still in the deep state, and they want to keep that. But what they did wrong was they got lazy and they got careless. You know, with all the money being transferred and Hillary and funneled money, they got careless. And now they're getting bit in the ass. Part of my language. And that's what they're trying to save face, cause problems, put all that on mainstream media. Oh, Trump's bad, but that's not the actual fact, you know? And it's sad that we need like judicial watch to bring up charges, and that's a donated service.
Mm-hmm.
We're like the congressmen, and are they scared to death to, you know, get shot like Seth Rich or anything like that? It's just amazing on how, you know, what we just see on TV as compared to the real life that's going behind the scenes. Like I said, I'm not in the locker room. I'm not behind the scenes, but I can picture of what I am seeing right now. And it's a battle between absolutely the DOJ and the deep state, and they're trying to like save face, you know?
Dude, listen to me.
That,
are you on YouTube by chance? Are you on YouTube? Or is that how you tune into us?
I'm
okay.
No,
what I'm going to do
I'm on MeWe, but I'm on your super chat.
You are? Okay, fantastic. All right, now this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on the screen here, and when you say, you know, like for instance, I'm forming an opinion. I'm expressing my opinion. I'm giving you my gut feeling about what may happen here. But it's a pretty well-informed opinion, okay? I'm going to put it on the screen right now.
Not to cut you off real quick, but like you said, Fridays are the day when they do busts because there's no news on Saturday and Sunday usually. So the Saturday and Sunday you reflect. Oh my God. Then you see CNN. Oh my God, you know, they're blowing us up.
Yeah.
They're blowing up the Trump organization. Then when Monday comes around, everything's debunked.
Yes.
You know.
Yes, that's
but
right.
I understand the Friday thing. I do see the Friday thing.
Now let's back up. I'm going to put some visualizations. This is a bombshell report, the Benghazi brief. Okay. The facts contained in this thing. I literally spent the better part of about 2 months linking everything together to confirm it. Now, I'm just going to show you the visual imagery, okay, of what we've been contending with. And just think the news cycle is so fast moving. Nobody's ever been held accountable for all of these things that I'm going to just skim through right here. Look at the guys in Benghazi, right? We've got our special ops guys. We have... we're going to have to go to the top of the hour here. Everybody stay right there. This is a very powerful visual presentation of who these people on the other side who've been preparing these coup plotters that have been preparing to overthrow the president of the United States. And guess who that is? It's when this thing moves, when they go after Donald Trump Jr., ladies and gentlemen, that's a shot across the bow of the American people that are coming after your president. You better be ready to know that they're about to overthrow the will of the people, 63 million who voted for President Trump. We'll be right back. Do not go away.
Pete,
Truth Frequency Radio.
You're listening to the Pete Santilli Show. Pete Santilli, telling you the truth, whether you like it or not.
For years, Americans have been encouraged to prepare their families for the eventuality of natural disaster, civil unrest, and a possible breakdown of our nation's supply chain. Just look what happens in other countries when food trucks stop rolling and the banking system stops functioning. The day has now arrived. No more waiting to stock up on emergency food supplies because the survival of your family depends on how you respond to this warning. It could be the last time I'm able to speak these words to you about the critical need to prepare your family. The lights could go out, the internet could be shut down, and the bank ATMs could stop functioning. But just ask yourself this. If this happens right now, today, would I be able to feed my family for the next few days? If the answer is no, then you need to act right now by visiting preparewithpete.com and look at the supplies you'll need to have on hand for your families to survive without these conveniences we take for granted. It's time to stop putting off buying an emergency food supply. I'm telling you this now while I can. Because if the electricity goes out and the shelves are empty, you'll be glad I did. I'm Pete Santilli, and I want you to visit preparewithpete.com because it's time to be self-reliant, independent, and prepared to feed your family because emergencies strike when you least expect it.
From sweet and spicy to fiery, bold, and full of flavor, Brother Doc's is not your typical beef jerky. Never dry and brittle. This jerky comes beautifully packaged with large cuts of meat that are moist, tender, and chewy from beginning to end. Brother Doc's recipes contain the highest quality ingredients that result in innovative flavor masterpieces, like orange teriyaki, barbecue mesquite, and their signature bold pepper flavors properly named Volcano and Burnout. Moderate pricing and great flavor will have you in beef jerky heaven. Go to sbn.buzz/brotherdocs to place your order so Doc knows you heard about him here on the Pete Santilli Show. It's true what they say about Brother Doc's beef jerky. One bite and you'll be a believer too.
Hello there. I noticed that you're one of the people who supports Pete Santilli on his webpage. I just want you to know that thousands of us are very, very angry, and soon that's going to be 100,000, perhaps even millions of us, very, very angry at this man who said that he would like to Hillary Clinton in the...
What difference at this point does it make?
You know, if crooked Hillary Clinton were up here and they had this kind of a crowd, the cameras would be showing the crowd all day long.
You are now tuned into the truth frequency.
Your protection from deception. This is Truth Frequency Radio.
The following program may not be suitable for millennials under the age of 40. Parental discretion is strongly advised.
And now, the most offensive radio talk show host on the planet, Pete Santilli.
All right, before I go back to the telephone lines, all right, I'm going to give you a visual here of this, just this one report. Take a look at our lives and what we've had to contend with as far as the corruption on the black side, okay? The black hats in the intel services. Look at this. Look, I'm just going to skim through it. This is just Benghazi alone, all right? Just Benghazi alone. This is what the path from Benghazi. All right, watch this. Look at this. March 2011 through pre-9/11 attacks. Who knew of Operation Zero Footprint? What is Zero Footprint? That's the gun running operation. Obama, Biden, Hillary Clinton, Leon Panetta, David Petraeus. Look at all these names. Nancy Pelosi knew of Operation Zero Footprint. House Permanent Select Committee Intel Chairman Mike Rogers, representative, right? Harry Reid, Dianne Feinstein, U.S. Libyan Ambassador Christopher Stevens. Now watch this. Look at what's been going on in Turkey. Mustafa Abdel Jalil. All right, look at Tom Donnellan, Dennis McDonough. This photo that looks like it's one of those royalty-free photos was taken on 9/11 of 2012 at 1:28 a.m. Benghazi time, following on a 1-hour phone call with POTUS, Vice President of the United States, and the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. Here they are meeting. That was the meeting. Look at this. Here's Petraeus, Panetta. Petraeus got taken out. He got taken out for and actually charged with leaking information. They took him out completely. Why did they take out Petraeus? What did he know? He knew about the gun running operation. How do I know this? I have CIA and FBI whistleblower testimony on audio recording that Petraeus and Hillary Clinton, all they needed to do was to be called forward to testify under oath. Petraeus got taken out. Hillary Clinton had a bump on her head. Remember that? They couldn't bring them forward under oath. Okay? Look at this. Watch this. It goes deeper here. Here's Obama, Susan Rice. Susan Rice being corrupt, highest level of corruption. Here's Gaddafi getting taken out. Gandalf being 300 yards from the crew supervising. He was in the CIA. He was helping to execute the capture of Muammar Gaddafi.
Wow.
And his, remember that? Remember he told us about all this?
Mm-hmm.
Look at, here's, this guy got assassinated at the podium, didn't he? I think this guy did. Watch this. Here's some more. Look at this picture right here. This is disgusting right here. Obama and Hillary Clinton holding hands in front of the bodies of the survivors of Benghazi. Check this out right here. Watch this. Here's ISIS and then John McCain. Look at him. Who's this? Abu Mossa, Islamic State, or the ISIS press officer. John McCain. Right? Operation Zero Footprint.
Senator Paul.
Thank you for appearing, Secretary Clinton, and I'm glad to see your health is improving. One of the things that disappointed me most about the original 9/11 was no one was fired. We spent trillions of dollars, but there were a lot of human errors. These are judgment errors, and the people who make judgment errors need to be replaced, fired, and no longer in a position of making these judgment calls. So we have a review board. Review board finds 64 different things that we could change. A lot of them are common sense and should be done, but the question is, it's a failure of leadership that they weren't done in advance, and 4 lives were cost because of this. I'm glad that you're accepting responsibility. I think that ultimately with your leaving, you accept the culpability for the worst tragedy since 9/11, and I really mean that. Had I been president at the time, and I found that you did not read the cables from Benghazi, you did not read the cables from Ambassador Stevens, I would have relieved you of your post. I think it's inexcusable. The thing is that, we can understand that you're not reading every cable. I can understand that maybe you're not aware of the cable from the ambassador in Vienna that asked for $100,000 for an electrical charging station. I can understand that maybe you're not aware that your department spent $100,000 on 3 comedians who went to India on a promotional tour called Make Chi Not War. But I think you might be able to understand and might be aware of the $80 million spent on a consulate in Mashar al-Sharif that will never be built. I think it's inexcusable that you did not know about this and that you did not read these cables. I would think by anybody's estimation, Libya has to have been one of the hottest of hot spots around the world. Not to know of the request for securities really, I think, cost these people their lives. Their lives could have been saved had someone been more available, had someone been aware of these things, more on top of the job.
Now, we know since then, okay, we know since then, in speaking with the fiancé of Ambassador Stevens, that he sent 600 requests for security that were ignored. 600, she said.
Mm-hmm.
It's documented. She's an investigative journalist. 600 requests ignored, okay? Operation Footprint, just its existence, knowing full well that you're shagging arms, okay, and overthrowing Libya and supplying ISIS would require additional security. It was denied. They denied. He knew too much. He had to die. General Petraeus knew too much. He had to be taken out. People died. They had to be taken out.
And the thing is I don't suspect you of bad motives. The review board said, well, these people...
I think he retracts that statement now. Notice how Rand Paul is the patriot now, all of a sudden, standing beside President Trump. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because President Trump right now, our last saving grace in the United States of America, I believe, is our military intelligence services. That this battle between the black hats and the white hats over at the CIA are being monitored by military intelligence. And that our constitutional restoration may come as a result of that. I have faith in that right now. I think that's why they're allowing so many things to take place the way they are. Get on with this Mueller thing. Let these indictments come. Let them pull the guns out and try to arrest President Trump. Let that happen, okay? That's the final step for them in the coup d'etat, and they're about to get a big fat surprise from the United States Marine Corps. Okay? They are.
People weren't willfully negligent. I don't think you were willfully. I don't suspect your motives of wanting to serve your country, but it was a failure of leadership not to be involved. It was a failure of leadership not to know these things. And so I think it is good that you're accepting responsibility because no one else is. And there is a certain amount of culpability to the worst tragedy since 9/11, and I'm glad you're accepting this. Now, my question is Is the U.S. involved with any procuring of weapons, transfer of weapons, buying, selling, anyhow transferring weapons to Turkey?
Okay, listen closely here. All right, listen.
Out of Libya.
To Turkey? I will have to take that question for the record. Nobody's ever raised that with me.
She's just flat out put back on her heels.
It's been in news reports that ships have been leaving from Libya and that they may have weapons. And what I'd like to know is the annex that was close by, were they involved with procuring, buying, selling, obtaining weapons?
Listen, do you remember, okay, ladies and gentlemen, do you remember this? Or are you now starting to remember the information that I had and still have in my possession right now? I have the copy of the manifest of 400 man-pads that left the Libyan port on September 21st en route to Turkey, okay, to be delivered to ISIS, essentially the FSA in Syria, by way of Turkey. I have a copy of the manifest that was given to me. Right? Do you remember that?
I do.
Gandalf gave it. We have it all on recording. We were on the verge of a military coup then. At that point in time. Do you remember this? Is this surreal to you? Does it blow you away? Think about this. That this dinky little show, we got a $65 camera, right?
Right.
And I got a pocket of freaking corn nuts.
Right. And a constitution.
And a constitution. We've been investigating this since all the way back
here. Any of
here.
these weapons being transferred to other countries, any countries, Turkey included?
Well, Senator, you'll have to direct that question to the agency that ran the annex, and I will see what information is available. And
you're saying you don't know?
I do not know.
That's a lie. She flat out lied right there on oath. She knows about Operation Footprint. Nancy Pelosi knew about Operation Footprint.
Yeah.
Dianne Feinstein knew about Operation Footprint. These, do you remember these names that I'm mentioning right now? Dianne Feinstein, Nancy Pelosi, right? All these people knew about Operation Footprint. Hillary Clinton just lied right there.
Don't have any information on that. And, with respect to personnel, Senator, first, that's why we have independent people who review the situation as we did with the Pickering and Mullen ARB. And all 4 individuals identified in the ARB have been removed from their job. Secondly, they've been placed on administrative leave while we step through the personnel process to determine the next steps. Third, both Ambassador Pickering and Admiral Mullen specifically highlighted the reason why this is complicated, because under federal statute and regulations, unsatisfactory leadership is not grounds for finding a breach of duty. The ARB did not find these 4 individuals breached their duty. So I have submitted legislation to this committee, to the Congress, to fix this problem.
I want to play this through, okay?
Will not face the situation.
But here's the problem. The review board has all these recommendations, but there's one thing they failed to address, and I think you've failed to address, and it sets us up for another tragedy like this. They should have never been sent in there without a military guard. This should have been an embassy like in Baghdad in a war zone.
Right.
And it should have been under military guard, significant military guard.
Then on top of that, picture Operation Footprint, where there was a top secret operation, which was literally, do you know that the supplying of ISIS was legal? Did you know that? President Obama, by authorizing Operation Footprint through the intel services, made this entire transaction legal. Made it legal.
Defense Department command. I don't think the State Department's capable of being in the war zone and protecting these people. I still don't think that. I think another tragedy could happen. I think another tragedy could happen in another war zone around the world. I think someone needs to make an executive decision. Someone needs to take leadership, and with that leadership should be that you shouldn't send them in with no Marines. You shouldn't send them in with Marines that are to guard records, not people. You shouldn't send them in with the same kind of ambassador or embassy staff that you have in Paris. I think that's inexcusable.
Well, Senator, the reason I'm here today is to answer questions the best I can. I am the Secretary of State, and the ARB made very clear that the level of responsibility for the failures that they outlined was set at the Assistant Secretary level and below. The administration has sent officials to the Hill more than 30 times. We've given as much information. We've been as transparent as we can. Obviously, we will continue to brief you and others to answer any and all questions that you have about going forward. The reason we put into effect an accountability review board is to take it out of the heat of politics and partisanship and accusations and to put it in the hands of people who have no stake in the outcome. The reason I said make it open, tell the world, is because I believe in transparency. I believe in taking responsibility.
Isn't she a pig?
And I have done so.
Filthy.
And I hope that we're going to be able to see a good working relationship between the State Department and the committee going forward.
Thank you.
So this is the stuff that we've been contending with. This is dating all the way back. I mean, how long has this been going on, you guys? How long have we been contending with this? There's Turkish Prime Minister Recep Erdogan, right? We got the Turkey issues. We've been dealing with this stuff. March 2011, when Operation Zero Footprint began, the Tactical Operations Building was added. Here we have a massive cover-up, okay? And almost as it was put by CIA operatives on the ground and FBI whistleblowers that I have audio testimony on. And by the way, you can't even come here in a midnight raid and try to grab it because it's offshore and very, very safekeeping. Just want everybody to know that. Okay. We've been dealing with this intel war for years now. Okay. It's been going back and forth. The Benghazi Select Committee, it was covered up, right? Hillary Clinton was supposed to have taken over. Something happened. I don't know who put President Trump in office. I don't know. But the good people did, I think. They put him in office. And President Trump's just been sitting there patiently, taking his slings and arrows. Military intelligence has been observing Mueller, right? Because this whole thing was a black op military intelligence operation, this whole Mueller Russian collusion thing. And we're about to see how this thing's going to shape up. They're going to be making their move here soon. Once they make that move for Donald Trump Jr., everybody get your hackles up, get ready. I mean, the coup will be forthcoming right then and there, if not in that one felled swoop of arresting a bunch of people, unsealing indictments, and bringing charges against President Trump. I think they're going to go for a full bore, not just an impeachment. I think they're going to move towards an indictment against Trump. Fabricated, right?
Oh, yes.
You put the president back on his heels on an indictment.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even an they'll go to an impeachment hearing, right? That's how the indictment will be served and brought, and then he'll be brought before the Senate for an indictment. And what do you think the Republicans are going to do? They're going to run like a bunch of scared cats. They haven't been following the details of all this stuff dating back. They haven't, have they? They don't know all the minutia. It's so much minutia. That's what Robert Mueller is in charge of confusing everybody, right? He's got the entire intel services, unlimited budget. Can you imagine the trillions of dollars in the black budget of the CIA that goes towards fabricating this whole scenario?
Can you?
They can manufacture PDF documents, okay? Mm-hmm. Videos of President Trump banging a 4-year-old.
Sure.
You know, if they want that, they can do that. You know this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, they sure can. So this is going to get serious here. And I'm coming out right now, just based on what I know, the months, actually now years since I've been released, since October of 2017. Now we're going on, almost 2 years now of researching this stuff. Really, really deeply, deeply engrossed in all of the minutia. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go to the telephone line. In a 313 area code, what is that, Detroit? Negative 75 wind chill factor in Detroit. Is that correct? Hold on a second. Is it negative 75? You're live now. What's the wind chill factor out there? In the 313 area code, you're live on the air. You got to go quick or I'm going to put you back on mute. Hello? Oh, my God. Can you imagine that? I'm dropping that caller. I got to do that. You got to call back in. Sorry. Hello? Hey! Oh, my God. All right, let's go to the 516 area code. 516.
Well, how are you there, mister? It's Miss Q.
Oh, Miss Q, what's going on? How are you? What's going on?
I tricked your home line. It's the home line.
Yeah.
So I have to tell you, first off, I've been watching it. I watched it this morning, and I'm sick over this 9th-month abortion thing, but that's another discussion. I really think that Mueller right now, he has Donald Trump's hands tied because he can't unseal those indictments. He can't declassify anything right now. So they're going to try and strike real fast and real hard in order to get anything as far as an impeachment underway, which I really don't think is going to happen. And I don't think that the Republicans are going to run. I think that you're right with that they've thrown all this stuff at us to see whether or not we're going to react. And I think enough people are ready to react because this stuff, I watched a video the other day of a baby that survived an abortion and that the nurses and the doctors were not permitted to give that baby aid because she was signed to die. And they said that she cried for almost an hour. I couldn't watch the thing. My stomach was flipping. And Deb, today, when you said it hurt your soul, I so identify with that. I don't understand the language that I would have to use to describe these people. I can't use because I don't speak that way. But it's happening. It's happening in front of us. People really need to wake up. They need to understand what's going on. I have pumped your show to every single person that I know. When they send me stupid messages, put on Pete Santilli at 3 o'clock. Put him on at 9. Put him on at 9 a.m. Listen to what's going on because nobody else is telling the truth. Tucker Carlson the other night, yeah, he was in there. Hannity the other night, yeah, he was in there. But they're getting squashed, too.
They are. They are getting squashed.
Squashed.
I want you to push the pause button for a minute. Push the pause button for a minute, okay? Stay right there, okay? Because I'm gonna play this right now because we're gonna spin off on a tangent, I know, but I want to share this with everybody right now. I pulled this up. I shared it with you.
Yes.
And I want you to see this. This was on Fox and Friends. First of all, Tucker Carlson and the job that he did asking that lady those questions, and she couldn't answer it. It doesn't matter how much he squeezed.
Couldn't answer.
That was so revealing as to who these people are. And I think I presented my case. Now, I want you to listen to this very closely.
Not for the maternal reasons or fetal reasons.
This literally, this will touch your soul right here. Okay? This will touch your soul. This is what we're up against. We godly people are advocating for this right here.
To me, it's a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's couched as women's health care, but it's really just a carte blanche for termination to term.
So then it becomes a question of why would you ever terminate? In some cases, people terminate a pregnancy because of an illness or a disease or Down syndrome in some cases. I know.
How many times have you ever heard that they'll terminate, that your baby has Down syndrome and it'd be best if we just went ahead and terminated, right?
I've heard it.
Yes, we've heard it. That's the majority of the cases. We've been suffering through this incremental acceptance of abortion, and then they get closer and closer and closer to the murder of a human being now. Okay, but we've heard this Down syndrome thing. Now listen to the testimony.
Many women are checked for that or screened for that. Ashton Kutcher, who's got 20 million Twitter followers, he has posted on his Facebook page the testimony of a man by the name of Frank Stevens, who was testifying previously before Congress about people living with Down syndrome in science and research. And Ashton's Facebook says, everybody's life is valuable. And then he had a link so that you would listen to this man who
Listen
lived.
to this. Listen to this.
No one knows more about life with Down syndrome than I do. Please remember this. I am a man with Down syndrome, and my life is worth living. The people pushing this particular final solution are saying that people like me should not exist. That view is deeply prejudiced by an outdated idea of life with Down syndrome. Seriously, I have a great life.
He went on to say, talking about individuals with Down syndrome, he said, "We are an unusually powerful source of happiness. A Harvard-based study has discovered that people with Down syndrome, as well as their parents and siblings, are happier than society at large. Surely happiness is worth something."
And
there are babies out there. There are lives they come about. They don't have a voice. And you know, this isn't like, I'm not trying to propagandize or to push an agenda. It's not an agenda. Okay. I mean, I'm going to tell you, we have to stand. We must stand because these women that have been so conditioned to fight for their rights and stand for their bodies and to do that, these babies, okay, will go on with happiness. A baby with Down syndrome was born and is living a life and is happier than most of us miserable people that have to contend with these Luciferians. It's a miserable existence to have to deal with listening to these women, these women's rights people, these Marxists that are pushing this baby killing agenda. We have to fight these people. We have to fight these people and fight for the rights of these babies. I mean, have you ever thought that you would ever hear me talk like this? Well,
oh yes.
I mean, I sound like almost an activist, but we really, really need to.
No.
We really need to.
I know where your heart is, for sure.
Yeah. But anyways, Don,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I can hear you perfect. Yep.
So let me ask you something, Pete. How much do you think these women are offered financially to give up their babies? Because you don't just wake up 9 months pregnant. You don't go to sleep on Monday and on Wednesday you're 9 months pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
How much money do you think these women have been offered? Let us take your baby. We don't need its brain. We're going to ruin that. We need everything else.
Oh. All right. They
have to live with that. They got to live with that.
Yeah, they just got.
You know, Deb, you said today that you were pro-choice. That if something was wrong or it was a woman's choice in the first trimester before a heartbeat, and you know, I kind of agree with that. It's your body. You do what you want. There comes a point. Where the morals and the God-given right of the unborn have to come in.
That's right.
The morals of the people that just don't care. They're looking for that perfect society. This is like the rebirth of Hitler.
Stay right there. Stay right there.
Way.
Will you please stay right there? We're going to continue on here with Miss Q. Okay, you guys, we're going to break away to TFR. We have to talk about this. And like I said, there's, you know, as to the solutions to our problems, I'm going to tell you something right now. I honestly believe my faith is strong enough to know that God expects us right now, at this moment, right now, to stand up. And if we don't, the retribution that I was praying for to come upon these evil satanic influencers, if we don't stand for these babies and for life and for his creation, retribution, I think, is going to come upon us. But we have to speak out about this. This is so wrong. We'll be right back.
For years, Americans have been encouraged to prepare their families for the eventuality of natural disaster, civil unrest, and a possible breakdown of our nation's supply chain. Just look what happens in other countries when food trucks stop rolling and the banking system stops functioning. The day has now arrived. No more waiting to stock up on emergency food supplies because the survival of your family depends on how you respond to this warning. It could be the last time I'm able to speak these words to you about the critical need to prepare your family. The lights could go out, the internet could be shut down, and the bank ATMs could stop functioning. But just ask yourself this. If this happens right now, today, would I be able to feed my family for the next few days? If the answer is no, then you need to act right now by visiting preparewithpete.com and look at the supplies you'll need to have on hand for your families to survive without these conveniences we take for granted. It's time to stop putting off buying an emergency food supply. I'm telling you this now while I can. Because if the electricity goes out and the shelves are empty, you'll be glad I did. I'm Pete Santilli, and I want you to visit preparewithpete.com because it's time to be self-reliant, independent, and prepared to feed your family because emergencies strike when you least expect it.
From sweet and spicy to fiery, bold, and full of flavor, Brother Doc's is not your typical beef jerky. Never dry and brittle. This jerky comes beautifully packaged with large cuts of meat that are moist, tender, and chewy from beginning to end. Brother Doc's recipes contain the highest quality ingredients that result in innovative flavor masterpieces, like orange teriyaki, barbecue mesquite, and their signature bold pepper flavors properly named Volcano and Burnout. Moderate pricing and great flavor will have you in beef jerky heaven. Go to sbn.buzz/brotherdocs to place your order so Doc knows you heard about him here on the Pete Santilli Show. It's true what they say about Brother Doc's beef jerky. One bite and you'll be a believer too.
It's amazing how people have been raving about iLife all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with iLife, it's a 99% pure CBD oil. But the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with iLife. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to iLife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's iLife.com, AYA life.com.
Oh, geez. Sorry about that. I had a tough time putting my headphones back on. Miss Q, you still there? Sorry about that.
I'm still here.
Took me a millisecond. So anyways, yeah, we have to speak out. We have to have this conversation. And that it's just so sad that that our opposition to this, that is fighting it, they think that this is some sort of a political ploy. Like it's a political ploy to stock up on Supreme Court justices that are going to try to stop this. We're trying to legally, stop them from doing this god awful thing. But it's at its core, it's about life. It's about God's creation. We have such a high value, such a high level of morality that we have to go through the political realm. Because remember back in the day when they used to bomb freaking Planned Parenthood facilities and kill, abortion clinicians. That's not the way to do it. But violence is not going to stop these people. Right? Don't you agree?
Violence is the same thing as what they're doing. This is a violent act against the next generation. My son, I told you before, my son's 27 years old. When he was in elementary school, there was a woman who was having her third baby, and she found out that her child had Down syndrome. And this woman chose to have that baby. I visited her, and I can't tell you the happiness that was amongst that hospital room and this cute little bundle of joy. So what? If you're looking for the perfect society, it's never going to be. We know that it's never going to be. We stand up and we fight now, or you march, or you do whatever we have to do in order. We're going to be the ones that they say are antagonistic. We're going to be the ones that are wrong, because they've thrown all this, and over the Obama, the Bush, the Clinton, all those eras of presidents that are just as twisted as what's going on today. Mm-hmm. We're going to be the bad guys. Did
you hear me?
It took too long for us to voice.
Did you hear me yesterday read the words of the founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger? Did you hear me read those words? Okay. Yes. It's disgusting, but she was literally targeting, this Down syndrome kid that we just heard from was her target. Mm-hmm. She wanted to get rid of this dumb person, this worthless life that was a drain on society. I mean, they have a political agenda, this social engineering thing to convince everybody that the Down syndrome child is a drain on our society. We need to purge it, those less intellectual or those needy, dumbed down people that are a drain on our society, like the blacks or the Irish, right? And she wanted to, as a eugenicist, set up a system called Planned Parenthood, right? And that's not prenatal, not for prenatal care. It wasn't for prenatal care. That's my point. I'm sorry.
Of course not. It was for murder. Next, they'll be setting up something that once you reach the age of 75, you're not allowed to have medical attention. When our vets come home from war and they're amputees and they're considered no longer productive in society, they'll come up with something else to rid the world of the imperfect, of the useless, of those who don't think can contribute. And when does it stop? Then when does it really stop? I mean, do you have to really look over your back? Are black-haired people not going to be allowed in the world? I have green eyes. Does that mean I'm like, oh, my God? Do I have to worry because it's like it's rare? I don't know what the answer is going to be. I don't know what – I mean, I know Trump has so much going on right now. I don't understand how this law passed. I'm embarrassed to say that I live in New York. I'm embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
It's legislation that went through. If you would have seen me down there like a crazy woman.
Listen, picture this. Now let's segue back. Okay, now segue back. Now picture the dangers associated with a group of women like that woman that we heard talking to Tucker Carlson.
Mm-hmm.
Not even talking. She wasn't talking. Was that talking? That wasn't talking.
No.
She was robotized.
No.
Literally brainwashed to recite the. And I was like, oh my goodness, she's not even thinking about life at all, right? Mm. We now have a population of people.
Overturning Roe v. Wade. You got to overturn Roe v. Wade. Really?
Yeah, you're a man that wants to have control over my body, and you should not have it. And he's like, what do you think about the life of the baby? There's a baby there you're about to kill. Right. Or do you agree with that? He was just asking her that. Do you agree with that? What's your opinion on that? Like, can you think about it? And she just kept reciting this. Now, picture this. We have an entire population right now that they are looking at it saying, now it's ripe. We can take out Trump. We can literally take out our entire political opposition because all we need to do is to say that the man behind that red hat is a Russian colluder, right? And come forward and indict the guy. And we're right in the middle of the zombie apocalypse. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be able to talk to these people about, I mean, they're already preconditioned and brainwashed. They're literally crazed, waiting for Robert Mueller to just make one move. That's all he needs to do is make one move. They bring Donald Trump Jr. indictment, right? They make an indictment towards President Trump. Are we in a civil war at that point? I mean, what is it? What is it? We're in the zombie apocalypse. We're not going to be able to talk to these people.
It will be. It will be a civil war because I know you can't talk to them. I grew up with people, next door neighbors. I mean, they spit away 14 feet that have a completely different political view. I respect that. It's your political view.
Yeah.
When they started agreeing with the stuff that was going on, I can't talk to you because there is no talking. There's no having a conversation. You can't get through.
No.
It's a brick wall. They have put themselves behind this, and the liberals are right.
Listen, Miss Q, what is wrong? What is wrong with a fellow American? Okay, like your neighbor. All right. What is wrong with a neighbor cheering on the SWAT teaming of Roger Stone for his arrest, even if the man is guilty?
Everything.
Let's say if the guy is guilty of sending messages to Vladimir Putin.
There were more people down there to take away Roger Stone in his cutoff shorts, his T-shirt, and barefoot than there were protecting the men at Benghazi.
Did you hear Roger Stone say he was worried about his wife because she's hard of hearing and he was afraid she was going to get shot because she couldn't hear? Can you imagine that? Oh, that hurts my heart to think about that. Can you imagine that? Mm-hmm. He's worried about his wife getting shot by his government. Why? Why do we need to worry about getting shot by the Gestapo? You know,
it could be any one of us too.
And they're cheering it. They're cheering it on.
Is no longer free.
Miss Q, what's worse, the guys that went there and did it, or the people that gave the orders, or the people that are on the outside of it cheering it on? What's worse? What's worse? They will get away with whatever you let them get away with.
The people that cheered it on are the sheep.
They will get away. They will get away with tyranny as long as we let tyranny to continue to operate and flourish. They will get away with it.
Yeah,
as long as there are sheep. Yep. As long as there are people that are willing to believe. I can't believe that they can't step back and look at their party, because the Democratic Party is not what it used to be. That they can't step back out of that and look and say, "Gee, you know what? There's something going wrong here. This is grating on me." You know, put your emotions into something other than following.
Deb has a comment here,
that's
Miss
the
Q.
situation.
Deb
Take
has a
breath.
comment.
That's okay. Text Rob in the YouTube chat room said, "Cold Civil War will go hot," and I understand what he's saying here. We are in a cold civil war.
Yeah.
Our country is so divided, and it's not even. I mean, we've always been divided. There's always been the Democrats and the Republicans, and and the Libertarians or the whateverins.
It's gone hot at the local McDonald's when somebody gets their red MAGA hat kicked off their head.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's hot. We've been
It is
reporting
hot.
on the hotness of this thing.
Right. And so I agree with that. It's not a matter of, is there a civil war in our country? It's already here. And the signs of it is that we're uncivil to each other. We no longer care. I mean, used to be the left was very
I don't even want to look at Periscope,
Right. The left was very cognizant of the fact that the Republicans, the more conservative people, were fighters. They fought. They protected their personal belongings, their families, et cetera, their beliefs, their church, what they believed in, right? Their spiritual, godly beliefs. They protected all those things, and they had the Second Amendment to back them up. And the majority of the country went along with that. They believed that, right? And so now they're taking your right to protect yourself,
your
Second
voting
Amendment,
rights,
your vote, everything. They're taking
your
all
speech.
of that away. So the liberals are becoming more emboldened. And believe me, back in the 90s, the number one threat to our country, as far as terrorism went and domestic terrorism went, was the liberal left and the environmentalist movement.
Yeah.
That was the number one threat to our country. And now they think that faction is our saving grace. And the environmental movement came out of what? The civil rights movement, who born people like Bill Ayers and Bernadine Dorn. We forget about them and how radical they were. And now they're the professors in schools, and they've all been forgiven, and they're still rallying marches and protecting and organizing Antifa. So I mean, our country
and indoctrinating our young.
Right, it's changed. We are in a civil war, and I do believe Pete's right when he says that to a certain degree.
Yeah,
it's already gone hot.
Hold on a second.
When you can't wear a MAGA hat.
Let me switch gears. You ready? You want to see what Antifa's doing right now? I'm going to share this on the screen right now. This is what's going on. This just happened.
Like a 30-second delay.
Couple days ago. Right. Hold on a second. I'm going to put it on the screen. I don't have it up yet. Here it is. I'm going to share with you guys what Antifa is doing. This is Antifa, what you're about to see right here. This is Antifa. This is graphic content. This is a warning. This is an Antifa guy. He says smash the patriarch and whatever it says on his shirt. Smash the patriarch.
If the principal is not asked, listen to me.
He's at his school. He's at his child's school. Yep. He's Antifa. Here it comes.
I do. I'm actually the school. Listen to me. If the principal is not
I
asked,
sent
listen
this
to
to
me.
you.
You're gonna end up.
Antifa. Here he is. Watch his
You're
hands.
under arrest. Let go. You are under arrest. Let go of me. You are under arrest. Let go of me. Code 3 first. Get out.
See the gun?
Yes.
They're running. That's Antifa, okay? They're running around with guns. They're at the school. They're up against the police. They're belligerent. They're anti-ICE, anti-government, anti-everything. These are social justice warriors on the internet, and they're running around with guns, okay? Shooting police, okay? But I'm not supposed to tell you to worry about the gun-grabbing movement, okay? For every gun that I say, you go purchase and register with a sales receipt with the free market capitalism, is also a gun that is available for your own personal protection. Okay? Get a concealed carry permit, carry lawfully, do that. You need to be concerned about what's happening right now. These gooftards are running around with guns. Okay? Now, right? Is that kind of surprising to you?
No.
Okay.
It's kind of scary, isn't it?
It is kind of scary.
And that young girl that walked out in front when the cop opened the door to get him out, did you know that a bullet shot right over her shoulder?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, this is scary.
There's an article that followed this because I watched this the other day and I read up on it. And it went right over her shoulder. Innocent, and she could have been killed. And this is his kid's school, and he's dressed like a kid with the backpack and the skull cap and all the nonsense. You would think that he belonged there.
Yeah.
Another school shooting. And I'm sorry, these school shootings, they're planned. God forgive me, but they're planned. And not by the people that are shooting. We need to take away the Second Amendment. You got to go in. You got to find somebody to go in and do a school shooting now because it got quiet.
This is crazy.
They were all dirty. And I'm sorry. I want Hillary to swing because she's a kingpin in all of this. Her, Soros, Bush, the Clinton Foundation.
This is coming. I'm telling you, this is coming to a head here. Picture all of the intel services that have been launching these false flag operations to disarm us, right? Because we're an obstacle to their advancement, to install their Marxism. John Brennan is he's documented communist voter who's a Muslim jihadist convert to global Islamic terrorism. He's the one that went to Moscow to set up the Fusion GPS report. Listen, again.
Does it concern you that we have Muslims in there that now have access to all of our intel that are in our offices in Congress?
Does it concern you that our intel services just recently testified that we don't need to worry about Iran? Does that concern you?
Yeah.
Does that concern you?
Talk to my other next door neighbor who had to flee that country, and his father was kept for 7 years in a prison where they fed him nothing except water and bread, and he did nothing except not want to give up his family business. Talk to him.
Yes,
about what Iran is all about and the abuse that his family went through.
They want a theocracy.
And that they came here.
They want a theocracy right now to dominate the world. They want to wipe Israel off the face of the map. This is not only a conspiracy theory. This isn't like a warmongering, drum-banging thing. They believe the Mahdi is alive, okay? They're now on two fronts up against Israel right now. This is a fact. This is not me banging a war drum sounding like a neocon.
Right.
But we have to contend with the fact that they're doing that. How we respond to it is a neocon response. And I'm going to set that aside. But you have to consider that the intel services just reported to Congress that we don't need to worry about Iran. And I just reported just the other day that Israel has Iranian forces on two fronts up against Israel right now. And they're threatening World War III against each other. Right? You cannot say as the intel services that we don't need to worry about Iran. Those are anti-Semitic people, we'll call them. They don't like Israel, do they? They don't like Israel. Well, guess what? Let's shift gears. Miss Q, thank you for calling in. I have a bunch of other callers. You're such a sweetheart for hanging with me.
Go do what you got to do. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah.
Deb,
Yeah.
You guys have a great night.
Let's segue, and I'm going to go to the next caller here. Let's segue now. All right. I said military intelligence. I believe that our military intelligence as well has Israeli intelligence as well. They have very sophisticated technology. All right. Actually, I think they pretty much help the NSA with managing, because they literally control all of the equipment for our internet backbone. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Our backbone technology, those servers and switches, Israel has access to it.
Sure.
They do. You can argue about that. I don't want to hear people in the threads right now. Don't go anti-Israel tard. Okay? Please don't. That's not my point. But I believe that there are some advantages to having that level of technology and working with our military intelligence, especially when you have such an evil domestic enemy as our CIA black hats that are attempting to overthrow our system. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that President Trump is going to have an interesting counter to what Mueller's going to bring. Okay. They're just waiting. I think they already know what he's going to do. They've been listening. They know. Huh?
Yes.
Just picture this. Israel has the ability through software. They can analyze every single keystroke on every single document that's coming out of that Mueller camp. Did you know that? Did you know that?
Not only the Mueller camp, but our camp too.
Our camp. No, but if you picture, Trump right now has access and knows everything that they're typing up and every single move they're about to make. Did you know that?
Absolutely.
He does. He knows it. So that's why he's just confidently saying, got to get this thing over. You know, go ahead. And he knows what's about to come.
Mm-hmm.
And the military is going to have to counter it.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that. Call me a gooftard, okay? Do you think that Trump is just going to get steamrolled and laid down and end up in Guantanamo? Do you think he's going to?
No.
He's not. He's not.
No.
He's on a mission from God.
Not for a minute.
Not for a minute. He's way too confident, isn't he? Way too confident. All right, I'm going to go to the telephone lines.
Well,
here.
I do want to say that Capstone 100 about the school, the guy with the gun at the school. Here's what he said. He said, Pete, the review shows that police officers in public schools can be effective in stopping school shootings.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
Look at the kid was on campus with a gun.
Yeah. We can't let that get past us. That's absolutely true.
Yes, that's a great point. Thank you very much, because I just overlooked that. I was bashing the Antifa guy, and I just forgot to mention he's on campus with a freaking gun.
Right.
Right? Yeah. And if the police officers weren't there, then what?
Angry. He's angry. He's there for a reason.
Yeah.
Right? And when they try to remove him.
Great point. Thank you for that smelling salt. Thank you.
No kidding.
Let's go to Philip in the 913. You're live on the air.
Yeah, how are you, Pete?
Good,
you asked me a question last time, and we got caught up with Roger Stone. Information that I get is from the QER board, and they have a theory because Assad was living in a room a little bigger than a bathroom, and no one's heard anything from him. He hasn't made any appearances. If he's not there, where did he go?
Assad?
Not Assad, I mean, what's his name in the embassy? You know what I'm talking about.
Somebody in the embassy.
Who,
which embassy you're talking about? You're speaking YouTube right now. Help me out.
The one in London. The one in London.
Assange. Yo, yes, sir. Assange, yes.
Yeah, Assange. Yeah, no one heard from him. He hasn't made any press conferences. And there's theories on the QL board that he's not there.
We don't know that, but we do know that Cassandra Fairbanks just met with him in the earlier part of January.
Like January 7th, I think she said.
January 7th, Cassandra Fairbanks went to meet with him.
Yeah.
She met with him in person.
And she's a reporter for Gateway Pundit, right?
Yep. So how long did they say he might be in the country?
I don't know.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
It's just a theory. Also, something you may want to check out is Fritz Lang's Metropolis.
What is it called?
Fritz Lang.
Hold on a second. I need to. I'm not understanding you. Hold on one second. What's it called?
Metropolis.
Metropolis.
Very famous. Yeah, very famous black and white film done by famous German filmmaker who escaped with Peter Lorre, because what happened was Hitler wanted him to do propaganda, and hours before they were going to arrest him, he escaped Germany. But he did this movie called Metropolis, which is interesting because everything in the film is what we're going through now. And this was done, I think, in the 30s.
Yeah, I will
And what's interesting about it also makes reference to Moloch in the film also.
Oh,
if
really?
you go and you watch.
And what's the first part of that Metropolis name? You said Footschwang, whatever. That's what I heard. Footschwang Metropolis.
No, it's Metropolis.
Metropolis.
It's Metropolis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Film.
I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, but if you watch the connotation with talking about the director, it's got all kinds of things in the film that he put in the film that basically, I think, are reference to things. And if you watch it, you understand all these people are sheep. And it breaks up two different separate types of civilization. The people down below who are the workers and the people up above who are basically, living their life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
And how everything crashes together.
Yes.
And I think it's a very, very interesting film.
Well, I will definitely check that out, Philip. I really appreciate the tip-off. I'm going to go check out that film maybe this weekend. I'll check it out. Very intriguing. I need to dig into, I'm going to make a note too, Bernays, okay? A lot of people don't know who Edwin Bernays is. And we need to talk about and start talking about, because we're literally suffering from this propagandization of everything, every single issue. Go ahead.
So, New World Order of the Times broadcast, which is Patrick, says Fritz Lang Metropolis.
Fritz Lang.
Yeah, Fritz Lang Metropolis.
Okay.
That's who you're looking for.
Fritz Lang Metropolis.
Thank
New
you,
World
Patrick.
Order of the Time. Yep. Okay, Patrick. Thank you very, very much for that. All right, let's go to the next caller who I dropped earlier, and you were banging pots and pans when I unmuted you. What's going on in Detroit? Are you there?
No. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so what's the wind chill?
Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. What's the wind chill in Detroit? Is it like negative 75? What the hell's happening there?
I don't know. It's crazy though. It's my heater won't even keep up with the cold out here. It's 59 on my thermostat, and I got it set at 73. So it's crazy.
Yeah, well, let me tell you.
I live in an old house. Yeah.
It's like 6 degrees here today. It's 6 degrees here today in Cincinnati, right around that. And I can't even imagine what it's like at 60 below. I can't imagine it.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's crazy. I've never seen anything like this. And I've lived in Detroit my whole life,
Huh.
Crazy. But the reason I was calling in is I'm just wondering when people are going to be at their point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we sit here and we talk about what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then we sit here and we do nothing. We just absolutely nothing.
No, you know what?
We keep watching them. We keep watching them. Do this stuff right out in the open, and everybody just sits back on their asses. Excuse my language, and does nothing.
Let's go by.
I don't get it.
Let's go by. Right now, I'm going to do this. Okay, we need to follow because there's a lot of stuff we don't know. President Trump knows a lot. And you're on mute right now. We're going to close out the show. We'll be back at 9 p.m. tonight. Call back tonight. We're going to open up the telephone lines tonight, okay? That's all we're going to do. Whatever the news is, we'll pop it up on the screen. But I want to hear from you tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you very much for joining us. Make sure you mash that thumbs up button.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. We are TFR.
Truth Frequency Radio. It's amazing how people have been raving about Aya Life all over Facebook. They've been posting their testimonials just because they want to get the word out because it's worked so well for them. If you're not familiar with Aya Life, it's a 99% pure CBD oil. But the secret is the synergy between the hemp and the ayahuasca vine, the non-psychoactive component of the ayahuasca tea. We recently received an email from a wife whose husband has Parkinson's. For the first time, he's been able to sleep through the entire night. Another customer reported that they're no longer using NSAIDs because their tennis elbow has been relieved with Aya Life. The reports have been phenomenal and much more than we ever expected. Everyone should have access to this. That's why if you head on over to ayalife.com right now and use coupon code TFR, we'll give you $5 towards your order. And we'll even ship it worldwide. That's ayalife.com, AYA life.com.
Virtual Shield is an easy-to-use VPN, which you can run on your phone and computers. It will encrypt all of your traffic, and you can choose where in the world you want to transport yourself, or even change your location. Virtual Shield is the world's most easy-to-use virtual private network service. Just download, install, and press connect. Voila! Your information will be kept private from those nosy, unconstitutional advertisers that want to sell your personal information for profit. This isn't getting better. In fact, it's getting much worse. Stop being bullied by big data and start fighting back. Click the link below to protect your privacy now with Virtual Shield VPN. Thanks for listening.
Freaky common threats nowadays in America, especially with the new caravan amassing in Central America headed up to the border. The future of America is not promised, and neither is your safety. One of the best things you can invest for your home protection is a Patriot Flashlight Kit. The Patriot Flashlight Kit contains one of the most reliable, durable, and brightest flashlights available on the market, the Night Protector. The Night Protector lights up the darkest of nights with its powerful 1200 lumens that can be seen miles away. 5 brightness modes, including very, very soft and very, very blinding. It's waterproof, so don't worry about leaving it out in the rain. Say goodbye to expensive battery purchases. This has a rechargeable lithium battery that comes with it, a Cree XML 2 LED high-powered light, and it's made of durable aircraft-grade aluminum alloy. It comes with a protective case and belt holster, a SIM change alarm, a wrist lanyard, all while remaining lightweight and durable. This flashlight is the most durable flashlight on the planet, and I wouldn't go anywhere without it. Lightweight, but very durable. Compact, but great handling for all emergencies. Visit www.thepatriotkit.com and use promo code PETE20 for an additional 20% discount off the manufacturer's price. That's thepatriotkit.com and use promo code PETE20. Thepatriotkit.com and use promo code PETE20. The secret to becoming a millionaire can be summed up in 2 words: passive income. When D.R. Barton Jr., who's now a self-made millionaire, had a 9-to-5 job, he dreaded opening his mailbox because he knew that inside he would find another credit card bill or a notice that his mortgage was due. Back then, that one paycheck his boss sent him every 2 weeks was barely enough for his family to get by. But today, he loves making that same trip to his mailbox because he knows that when he opens it up, he'll be greeted by an envelope that contains a big fat check with his name on it. And he didn't have to spend a second of his life working to collect it. Even better, when he visits his mailbox the next day, he'll find another check in it. And it'll be the same story the day after and the day after that. Uncovering little-known alternative income streams was how he became a self-made millionaire. It changed his life, and it gave him complete financial freedom. Now with the Federal Millionaire Guide, he's so excited he can help make this a reality for you as well, and he isn't going to waste a moment. Over 100 government agencies are required by law to pay rent. The checks they're cutting help create an $11.1 billion pile of money, and thanks to select private companies, it's very easy to get your piece of the action, as he'll show you how to get on the distribution list. You could begin cashing $1,795 checks a month starting next month, and those checks can grow 2 times, 5 times, or more over time. Please visit www.thefederalmillionaire.com and watch the free video to see how D.R. Burton and hundreds of thousands of other United States citizens are paying their rent with the federal rent checks. Find out how to cash $1,795 checks each month. Go to www.thefederalmillionaire.com.
Arrow to the Heart is a nonfiction book by Christopher Courtlander that tells the gripping account of how he fought off the federal government and exposed a vast conspiracy of corruption and espionage. In the spring of 2005, a federally orchestrated raid took place at the small, historic town of Gary Owen, Montana. Christopher Courtlander owns and operates Gary Owen and was the focus of the raid. He was suspected of selling valuable historical artifacts with false provenance and illegally possessing Eagle war feather bonnets and Native American artifacts. Courtlander vigorously fought this criminal allegation and eventually revealed a vast conspiracy of government corruption and espionage. He also exposed stunning connections between the Custer Battlefield Museum raid, the Gibson Guitar raid, and a raid in rural Utah, Operation Cerberus Action, that led to the suicides of multiple people. Arrow to the Heart differs from competing books in that it brings new and never before published information exposing government corruption at the highest levels. No other book attempts to do this. Arrow is written in an entertaining narrative highlighted by stunning never before published photographs that help to enhance the reader's experience. Order your copy today by visiting arrowtotheheartbook.com. Arrow to the Heart: The Last Battle at the Little Bighorn, the Custer Battlefield Museum versus the federal government. arrowtotheheartbook.com. That's arrowtotheheartbook.com.
President Trump took a few days out of his busy schedule recently to visit our boys and girls in the Middle East with the First Lady. In Iraq, he spoke of his latest initiative to pull the troops from Syria, saying the job's done and, quote, "We're no longer the sucker, folks," was his parting shot to the world. That decision was made by him and him alone, facing off opposition from all sides, and that's how 45 likes to do business, shooting from the hip. There's never been another president like him, and there never will be. Donald Trump is a one-off, and so is this. It's the President Trump Freedom 2020 coin. Solid silver and minted especially by Noble Gold in the U.S., this IRA and 401k approved coin is a special and unique collector's item. It celebrates the major achievements of Donald Trump's presidency so far. On this side, it shows an eagle holding a shield aloft with a list of tasks, delivered as promised. You can now buy yours by going to www.trumpcoin2020.com and join the Trump sensation. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com and don't forget to use the promo code Pete Santilli for a $6.50 savings on your order by not paying for shipping. Go to TrumpCoin2020.com and don't forget to use the promo code Pete Santilli for free shipping. With all the QAnon hysteria hitting the online community and the drama surrounding President Trump and the deep state, viewers are learning that having a VPN while searching for Q's latest posts and other online-related activity is an absolute must. Virtual Shield is by far the best choice with their 30-day free trial plan, which no other VPN on the market offers. Virtual Shield does not keep logs and will never sell your data to a third party. Your browsing history is kept completely confidential so you can relax and share peace of mind that your internet browsing activities will be kept anonymous. This winter month, Virtual Shield is offering 30% off all VPN plans and all premium add-ons, including Protection Plus, residential access, monthly maintenance, phone support, and VIP performance plans for as little as $3 per month. And don't forget about IdentiSafe, which allows you the ability to block off computer, microphone, and camera access from any unwanted spies and hackers. For anyone that's paranoid about the government watching or listening to every move they make via their computer, IdentiSafe is for them. Visit virtualshield.com/Pete. You can counter all of these intrusions by changing your IP address when you log onto the internet. It's one of the easiest VPNs to use in the world. It's one of the fastest VPNs to use in the world, and their no-log policy protects you from any data breaches. Visit www.virtualshield.com/Pete today. With all the QAnon hysteria.